30 years of the best sports talk in Middle Tennessee, featuring Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer George Plaster, Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame coach Watson Brown, and young guns Billy Derrick. And now, here's your host, George Plaster.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. It's a beautiful Thursday in Nashville, Tennessee. The weather for now is really good, upper 70s. Apparently next week, playtime is going to be over, but enjoy it while it lasts. As we broadcast from our new digs at the Ford Ice Center, we start out every show with in football season with Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update. And today that update, as is always the case, brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She does want to be your mortgage lady, and she wants you to know that tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, she will be at the Nashville Flea Market near the front of Expo 1 to answer any mortgage or home buying questions that you may have. Now let's say hello to Terry McCormick, Main Street Media. Terry, how are you?
Doing well, George. How are you?
Good. Rand Carthon continuing in witness protection?
Yes. He's probably busy burning up the phone lines.
Let me ask you this. This has started to bug me. The fans deserve to know what the hell's going on here. Is this the beginning of a rebuild? What is it? And he's nowhere to be found. And, I'm going to continue to make some jokes about it because it's wrong. He should have been on that podium on Tuesday talking to you guys about what's going on.
Sure, absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, the more openness and the more accountability you can have, the better off I think you are as an organization, because you're letting the ticket buying public know where you stand on certain things and what is being done. If this was just somebody who wanted to move on from and they decided to get value from him, okay, that's fine. Say that. If it's the beginning of a rebuild and you're turning the page on what you've built over the last 4 or 5 years, then say that. So I think you're exactly right. But George, I want to go somewhere where we're already seeing a potential repercussion of this Kevin Byard deal coming home to roost.
Let's hear it.
Yes, George.
No, let's hear it.
Okay. All right. Well, yesterday, Roger McCreary did not finish practice because of a hamstring injury. Tweaked his hamstring. He said that it's no big deal, but you know how hamstrings are, George. Sometimes they are a big deal, even if you think they're not a big deal. He wasn't out there in the open part of practice today, so we'll see if he's out there tomorrow. But if Roger McCreary is a guy who can't go as the nickelback on Sunday, then that leaves them without a real viable option there unless they want to move Elijah Molden back to nickelback. And then that would leave the exact hole that was created with the trade of Kevin Byard, leaving them to fill with somebody else that doesn't have as much experience or is maybe not as qualified to do that as Elijah Molden would have been. So already you're starting to see the hole created by the trade of Kevin Byard potentially have an effect on how they line up Sunday.
Playing some musical chairs in the secondary.
Oh, sounds like it. So, Terry, let's go back through some news that you reported, I think yesterday with us, that you had spoken to Byard's agent, and he did not want this trade.
No, he did not request a trade. In fact, he said that, Kevin wanted to stay in Nashville, retire as a Titan, finish his career here. I think, that's the same thing that had been said by Byard and his agent when this whole pay cut thing came up over the summer and during the offseason workouts. So this was not something that Kevin Byard went out seeking, being moved out of Tennessee.
Okay, anything else you want to leave us with?
Well, another day of no Ryan Tannehill on the practice field, at least during the open part practice. So, it's starting to trend, as we all expected, to being probably the Will Levis show on Sunday, barring something drastic. Unless Tannehill makes a remarkable recovery and does most of practice tomorrow, I think you're going to see the young quarterbacks out there Sunday when they take on the Falcons.
Or goes out there in that scooter.
Yes, exactly. By the way, we did talk to Arthur Smith today. He talked a little bit about his time here and, the friendships that he made over the years. And he did say something interesting. He said that he's changed a lot of the things that he does in Atlanta, and it's a lot different. He said if you took the Falcons playbook and looked at it and gave it to the Titans assistant coach, and said they probably wouldn't recognize it because he's changed so much of the terminology and what they use down there in terms of the offense rather than what he ran here in Tennessee. I thought that was kind of interesting.
That is very interesting.
Well, it tells you how good of a coordinator he is to be able to. Well, he's a head coach now, of course, but to be able to, fluctuate, change, adapt the way he has in Atlanta.
He's going to need to go get him a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think Desmond Ridder is the answer.
Who's their backup?
Boy, I don't know. Terry, who is their backup?
Logan Woodside still, isn't it?
No.
Is it really?
I
Wow.
think so.
How ironic if he played a bunch.
Yes. There's always a possibility he could have a certain Titans quarterback next year who's about to be a free agent.
Who right now has a scooter.
Yes. Well, he was off the scooter. He was actually walking around yesterday. Had a compression sleeve on the leg, but he was still, he was walking around. He had two legs, George, two somewhat healthy legs, enough to walk on.
Well, look, we wish him the speediest of recovery. He has gotten beat all to hell, and he has been one tough hombre, period. Terry,
no doubt about it. Thanks, George. See ya.
Terry McCormick's Daily Titans Update brought to you by Lori Burnett Leland. She will be at the flea market Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Out front by Expo 1. Go by and see her. And who knows, you may learn some stuff. Okay, let's go to Murfreesboro. Say hello to Kelly Holcomb. Kelly, are you surprised? Excuse me. We got a little,
Oh, my goodness, dude. Do something about that, George. It's like every 2 weeks, man, you're sick. What are we doing? Is age catching up with you, big dog?
No, lighten up.
This might be
Francis. So, do you think at some point Rand Carthon should have spoken to the media?
I mean, if it was his decision, yeah. I mean, at some point, I think you do, but you don't see many. I don't know if you see many GMs talking anymore. I don't know. It's kind of left to the head coaches. You don't ever really see that anymore, do you, George? I mean, I'm thinking to myself, when is the last time I saw a GM talking about something like that?
It's a good point.
It is a good point, and it's true. But why is that the case? I mean, why not? I mean, I know back in the day we talked about Floyd Reese, being available to the media, but I don't know.
Floyd was terrific.
Well, the GM is the boss, but the head coach is kind of the face of the deal. So, I mean,
right.
And here we don't know who's running the ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Hey, Billy, let's go back to your comment about people evolving. Everybody's got to evolve, big dog. They got to change, man.
Yeah,
but if you stay the same, you're going to get beat.
But I think Arthur, I thought he was amazing with the Titans, and in Atlanta, it's just like, I don't know, like if you do what you could do well at the Titans with Derrick Henry and that type of offense that they ran with Tannehill, but to be able to take it and totally switch, I know you have to evolve. It's part of the game. But for some guys, they can't do it as effectively, I feel like.
He's running the same stuff. He's calling it something different. Okay.
Did you see what Terry said?
Yeah.
It's totally
I saw what
different.
Terry said. I mean, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. Okay, Billy. There's only one way to run a curl route. Now you can call it a curl route, a hook route, a button route, a stop route, or something that you see what I'm saying. You can't there's no other way to run a curl route. If you're going to run a comeback, you can call it a comeback. You can call it something else. You can call it a skinny post. You can call it a bang H. You can call it. I mean, it's all like we're not reinventing the wheel here, big dog.
What happened to the dig route?
The dig is there. That's what Purdy likes to throw. He likes the deep dig.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is
not this week he doesn't.
So what you're saying as a coordinator is that everybody has run basically everything at some point.
I get so irritated with stuff like that. I mean, they talked about the West Coast offense. Well, in the West Coast offense, you call a drag route a drive route. Well, in my offense, I called it a drag route. It's the same thing. You have to learn the terminology. Like, they may be something different. Like, I know when I was with Buffalo and Mike Martz, his system came with Steve Fairchild. Steve Fairchild was my offensive coordinator. They did a little different things. Like they ran like a bang 8 or something against cover 2 where, you got to watch that Sam backer, or if you're throwing it whichever way you're throwing it, you got to throw it in a hole right there. They did things a little different, but it's still everybody runs those routes. You know what I'm saying? It's just different the way they call it.
No,
do you think any of our viewers know what a bang 8 is?
No, probably not. It's a 7-step, and I'm cutting it across. And you want to get friendly to the quarterback. You don't want to keep it skinny, because if you keep it skinny, that's a hard throw for the quarterback.
We don't want that.
No.
Okay. Well, is there an update in our future?
There is.
Good. I look forward to it.
Derrick Henry, we've talked about him and his potential of getting traded. The Ravens are reportedly the team most interested in him as of yesterday, according to Buck Rising right here in Nashville. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Did you say the Raiders?
The Ravens.
Ravens. Okay. The Ravens.
Ravens are the most interested. I mean, whatever that's worth.
The Raiders are as big a dumpster fire as the Titans.
I know, but I was like, are they going to get rid of Josh Jacobs? I mean, so I thought you said the Raiders. Okay, Ravens. That makes more sense.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, do y'all think he gets traded this year or not?
No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
I do not.
I don't feel it. I think Hopkins is probably the likely next option for them.
I also believe if they were to do that, they lose this locker room completely.
And they lose the fan base. They lose the fan base for the rest of this year. You're not going to get many people to the games.
Yeah.
They've got a weird schedule if people haven't paid attention to it. After this home game against Atlanta, 3 in a row on the road, in Pittsburgh next Thursday night, at Tampa 2 weeks from Sunday, and then at Jacksonville. And so they're backloaded very heavy in late November and early December, and who knows if those games are going to mean anything.
Yeah, I do think this week at least, you have an idea Levis is going to start. That might put a few more butts in seats this week.
Oh, I think people are interested in finding out about him. I think it's the one last thing here that's got a fan base remotely interested.
Hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Another fan base hanging on by a thread, the Buccaneers. They're in action against your Bills, Kelly. Bills are minus 9.5 point favorites there. 7:15 on Amazon Prime. The Bills will be without tight end Dawson Knox, though. He'll be likely be placed on the IR with a wrist injury, and he's going to be out for a while. So we'll see how that affects the Bills. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson says he doesn't know when he'll be able to play again as he continues to rehab his throwing shoulder. He said, right now we're not in a space where I should be out there. I'm trying to get to a percentage where I can go out there and be very, very beneficial for the team. But there have been doctors that have come out. I mean, hasn't he been approved to play? I thought I saw that somewhere where everyone has, outside of himself, has cleared him to play, but he hasn't played.
Well, when he was in a position to go back in the game, Stefanski used this thing about his safety, which I thought was really weird.
It's a weird situation right now.
It really is. I mean, some guys don't want to go out there unless they're 100%. They really don't. I wasn't that guy. I was too stupid. So I just went out there and just when I was ready to go, I wanted to play football.
Can you overrule? I mean, you can't overrule your doctor, right? I mean, the team.
Well, no, not now. I mean, you
not
can't.
now, but like when you were playing, was that something you and other quarterbacks
I know
might do?
I know I overruled my trainer one time because when I was in San Francisco, I broke my leg on the fourth play of the game. I broke my fibula and had a hairline fracture in my tibia. And I knew I was messed up. And I went over there and they wrapped my leg really good. Well, then we went into the locker room at halftime and he told me we need to take an x-ray of your leg and see what's going on. And I said, okay. So we went in there and then I came back out and he goes, hey man, you broke your leg. And I said, okay, man, I've been playing on it for 2 quarters now. Like, wrap it up. Let's go. So what are you going to do?
That's smart.
It was really stupid when I did that. That was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And I had to have a concoction of drugs for the flight back home just to get on the airplane because I was hurting so bad.
If you will.
A cocktail, yes. And when I came back home and I got home to my wife, I was throwing up nasty.
Jack and Coke, a little phenobarbital, a little
college
Toradol action.
Toradol, synthetic heroin. Why do I know that? Kidney stones.
Oh, you've had kidney stones, huh?
Oh, have I ever had kidney stones? I had 4 in a 3-week period about 8 years ago. And they discovered that drinking Coca-Cola had caused it. So this just in, I'm not.
No longer.
Can you say pain?
Yikes.
Woo.
College football tonight, Syracuse at Virginia Tech.
Whatever happened to the Hokies?
Hokies are 3-point favorites tonight somehow.
Hokey high.
What has happened to them, George?
I don't know. Justin Fuente, who we all thought would be a home run there, was a bomb.
Yeah, bomb.
That's what happened today.
Bomb.
He got to worry about what's in his office instead of coaching football.
Whatever the case, it didn't work.
I think Brent Pry's a good head coach, though. It'll probably take a while. And I mean, he's got to get his guys in there, but they're not in good. Fuente just nuked that program.
It's a great fan base.
Georgia State, Georgia Southern also tonight. Big rivalry down there. Georgia Southern narrow.
Georgia State.
You're taking Georgia State?
Probably.
In other news, Steve Sarkisian announced that Malik Murphy is going to make his first career start for Texas this weekend against BYU. There's not a definitive timetable on Quinn Ewers yet, though. So that's something to watch. Does that end up costing Texas? I mean, probably not against BYU, although they can be pesky, so they might be in some danger this weekend.
The Fighting Kalani Sitakis.
Is he still there?
It's good, George. He is.
I think he is.
He is.
Yeah. He is. Yes. No, he is.
So is your update complete?
No, I got one more thing.
Oh, God.
What are we doing here, dude? Like you got 50 things? We only got like 10 minutes, Billy. We can't have 50 things.
Yeah, but I know that the Clerkley interview is 5 minutes long.
Oh.
And
he didn't have much to say this week, obviously.
Well, we recorded it in a tight window, so he kind of got in and get out. But Michigan, obviously still in the news. According to Football Scoop this week, Michigan had scouted SEC teams, so not just Big Ten teams, including Georgia and Tennessee as potential college football playoff opponents. They also reported that Michigan may have attempted to assist the opposition of a potential college football playoff opponent in an effort to disrupt that team's path to the playoff. As to who this team could have been, Tennessee fans think it was them. On Twitter, they were going crazy yesterday.
We got a bunch of little sneaks up in Ann Arbor, don't we?
That Michigan had potentially given South Carolina the information it needed to beat Tennessee. I don't know how believable that is, but that's in the air right now. But
those are the days of our lives. Wow.
Oh, we got a question in here. Jack Gold. Billy, ask George if Kristaps Porzingis still sucks.
You know what? He had a heck of a game
He
last
did.
night. Jack was an intern of ours, and I have never been a big Kristaps fan. Last night, he shoved it down my throat.
He did.
He was really good. If he's
Jack's
that
still
good, the Celtics are going to be really good.
Jack's still trying to find something to eat at lunchtime.
Wow, I like that.
Lay off the cookies.
Okay, after the break, Mark McGee is going to join us. We'll talk a little Predator hockey with him. And then, as Billy mentioned, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee. And then at 3 o'clock, Underdog picks. I look forward to the review. For a change.
You do.
By the way, you took my pick. Kansas.
Oh, I did?
Yes,
Did
you
I?
did. Oh, it pissed me
Yes.
off. Yes, we're
Yeah.
back.
Are you
after that.
going to take it in this one?
You know, I might. I might do that.
You're a communist if you do.
Stay tuned.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, "You need to call Bart Durham." And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
I'm Watson Brown.
I'm Kelly Holcomb.
I'm Billy Derrick.
We're the George Plaster Show. We've been Nashville's best sports talk for the last 30 years. And you know what? We still are.
Catch us live weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, the podcast version is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges, they have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville. Give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Preds play next on Saturday at Bridgestone, 6 o'clock against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mark McGee joins us to talk about the game. Gee, they're 7 games in. They're 3-4. What's your take early on what they are or what they aren't?
Well, let's see. The 5 of the teams they played had 100-plus points last year. So you got to look at that. Actually, 3-4 could have been better. There are a couple of games they could have won. A couple of games you expect them to lose, like Edmonton. But right now, I think 3-4 is 3-4-0 is fairly respectable at this point. They're trying to learn the new offense. They're rebuilding their lineup, and like I said, the first 5 of the teams they played up front were 100-plus teams 100-plus points teams last year. So I think that, it could have been a lot worse. I think right now, a lot of teams are inconsistent. But I think that, 3-4, I can live with that right now.
Tell me this. Colton Sissons had a monster run when the team got to the Stanley Cup final, including the deciding game in the Anaheim series where I think he had 3 goals. It looks like whatever this system is, that it seems to fit him really well. Have you noticed that?
Yes, it does. Yes, he's tied for the scoring lead with Tommy Novak right now. And yeah, I think it's really fitting him really well. He's got the speed, he's got the skills. Sisson has a hard shot too. I mean, so it's a nice combination for him from that standpoint. One thing I noticed with the win or lose, they're finding open spots where their open spots shouldn't be. They've done a real good job of finding open spots on the ice, and that's really impressed me, the ability to do that. Plus they are shooting the puck a lot more than ever before. So, but I think this is, and everybody kind of thought that this offense might be really more suited to a lot of the younger players on the team, and it looks like that's true.
Who else do you think maybe struggled under John Hines, but this is really helping them?
Well, I think Tomasino. I think it's helping him a lot, and I think it's for sure. And other than that, I don't really know if anybody can point to that would say, okay, they were having issues with him. But I just think anytime you've got a chance to have they're up and down the ice. I mean, they're moving. And I think that these younger players, I think they like that style. It's definitely not a defensive style at all. It's not the New Jersey approach of years ago that Hines had. I mean, it's a new Andrew Brunette came in to open up the offense and get things going, especially on the power play. Now, the power play hasn't been as good as I thought it might be. But I was hoping more from it. But it's early on, and they're still figuring out what they're doing with that as far as combinations and that type of thing. But I think that it's just a whole different perspective. So and I think any of the players are going to thrive under that from an offensive standpoint. And Hines did hold them down a little bit, but I think Tom Sims want to look at that. Really, I think he's going to make a big difference with that. And he's kind of had a so-so start, but I think he's going to perk up here pretty soon. So one of the big surprises has been Kiefer Sherwood. He kind of bounced around last year. They put him on waivers and nobody picked him up. So he went back down to Milwaukee, and he comes in last year at the end of the season, last 27 games, and scores a bunch of goals and looks pretty good, and came out of camp this year surprisingly making the team, and he's looked really good as well. So, I mean, because I don't know how much he was hindered by Hines' situation, but he's been a nice addition. And they need to do something about keeping him around.
Sure looks that way early. And a lot of this, it seems to me, has been done. UC has been, what would you say, a B minus so far?
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that is a appropriate grade for him. He's not really he's not dominated like he normally does. That's for sure. So yeah, I would say a B minus maybe. Yeah,
But it
I
will
think that's a
come.
fair grade. Well, I think so. I think I think like everybody else, he's adjusted to this too. For the different style of play, and so I think and right now goaltenders are. I know goaltending's a real odd thing in this league right now. There's a lot of goaltending issues, and really the Predators with Charles don't have any. But though he's not played as great as he usually does starting out, but there are a lot of goaltending issues in the league right now, especially with some pretty good teams. So it could be really good teams if their goaltending was better. Yeah, Charles is. I mean, yeah, I don't know whether it's because of the new style player or what, but he's not quite been as sharp as he has been in the past.
Kelly, say hello to Guy.
Mark, to start this off, I was down at Lipscomb the other day. You know, my daughter, she had surgery, and you walked by our car, and I was literally screaming at you, and you never turned around. I mean, you got hearing problems, man? What's up?
I'm sorry.
Maybe he didn't want to speak to you.
Maybe he did, man. I can't. This is really funny. We were right next to Allen Arena, and he was walking by, and he was on the phone with somebody, but I was literally screaming at Mark, and he never turned around. I'm like, that's the guy I know, man. We talked to him. I talked to him on the radio and talked to him on the podcast. And Jalen says, "Yeah, right, Dad. Don't look like he wants to talk."
I feel bad, Kelly. I didn't hear you. I just taught 2 classes. I guess I was just kind of numb. So
that's okay. Well, I was going to ask you about. I mean, is Kiefer Sherwood? Is he the biggest surprise you've got? I was going to ask you about. Is there anybody that's really surprised
I was
you on
just
the
talking about
team?
him earlier. Yeah, he's lucky to. Like I said, they put him on waivers last year. The only reason he's back with the team was because nobody claimed him, and so he went to Milwaukee. And then last year he comes back up because of all the injuries at the end. Played in 27 games and looked pretty sharp in those 27 games, and scored. I think he scored 5 or 6 goals. 6 goals and 5 assists. 6 goals and 5 assists. I was trying to get my numbers straight in those 27 games. So it looked pretty good. And they came into camp. Definitely not a sure thing to make the roster, but he did, and he's a pretty reasonable. I think they're got him for like $750,000. That's a pretty good bargain for what he's doing so far.
Right? Is there anybody else that surprised you? Is there anybody else on the team that surprised you in the first 7 games?
No, not really. Novak I expected to do well again, and so he's not been a huge surprise. But I think that Evangelista. It's been a slow starter. I thought he might be a little bit better quicker. I think he's only got like 1 goal so far. I'd like to see him do better. But really nobody really has shocked me other than Sherwood. I mean, everybody's like, where'd he come from? Well, he's been around. He just, he's bounced around the league a little bit, 3 or 4 teams, and just never really found his niche. And maybe with Nashville he has.
I saw where Luke Sheen is put on the IR. Now I got a question to ask: does the IR mean the whole year? Because used to, when I was in the NFL, the IR, when they put you on the IR, that was a season-ending deal. But now it's different. They've redesignated the word IR, the injury reserve. So
yeah,
I saw where he's going on. How much? Yeah, how much does that hurt? And then what is the IR? Like, is it a whole season?
He's out for probably 4 to 6 weeks. They expect.
Okay.
And but the thing that really the injury hurts them on the ice. But what really hurt them was they were trying to find a top 6 forward to fit in to the team, and they were looking to get Connor Garland, especially with Vancouver. And the guy they wanted to move was Dante Fabro, who's been on trade rumors since last year. But they wanted to move Fabro. Well, with Sheen out, they cannot move Fabro. So even though Fabro might be enticing to some teams, they can't move him now because they're already going to be a little bit inexperienced on defense for a while, and so that really keeps Fabro in place. I don't see them moving him now for anybody at this point. So that was where it really caused a problem as much as anything. Was it changed their possibilities of a deal? And Connor Garland was was not a sure thing. He was some other teams were interested in him too. So what's going to happen there? But and a lot of people were saying if he came in, then the guys like Tomasino and maybe an Evangelista, it hurts them playing time wise because he's going to take one of their places probably. And so it's like between a rock and a hard place. So trying to get that offense as strong as they can get it. And but with Fabro, with Sheen out, Fabro has to stick around.
Okay, so this is my last. Okay. So this is my last question. What about the dude that they signed off the waiver from Columbus? Is it Liam Foudy? You know anything about him?
Yeah, not much. No. Factor on waivers, you have to wonder, but sometimes you get lucky with that. So more of a depth guy right now. So. But I don't see him making an impact as such, right? As far as a major impact or anything like that. But anytime he goes about the waiver wire for the most part, it's not going to be anybody who's going to be a huge difference maker for you.
Gotcha.
Guy, who scored the first goal Saturday night against San Jose? It was a name I had not heard.
Oh, shoot. I know you're talking about. I cannot remember the name right off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Because
Fagimo?
Yeah.
Fagimo, yeah.
Yeah.
They were really touting him with a great slap shot.
He does have one, and he likes to shoot a lot.
Well, good.
So he fits into Burnett's scheme very well. Yeah, he's a shooter. He's a hard shooter, and he likes doing it. So yeah, Samuel Fagimo. I forget how to pronounce his name correctly, but yeah. Fagimo. But he was the one I was trying to think. Yeah, he's the one that got it. So I think he's an undrafted player, if I remember. No, he was drafted for somebody, I forget who. But he is. He's talk about surprises right now. It's really early to say he's surprised because you don't have much of a sampling on him right now, but it looks like he's got some potential.
Early returns pretty good. Guy, thank you as always for the visit. And we'll do it again sometime next week.
Maybe I'll actually get my face on the screen again sometime.
Do you want that?
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I had my druthers, I would not.
You would not want yours on?
Oh, good Lord, no.
It's just people ask me if I'm on the podcast, and I said yes. I've been on the phone lately, but I've been on it. So, all right, good deal. Good deal. So, thank you, George. Kelly, I'm sorry. Kelly, I really feel bad. I'm sorry, Kelly, that I didn't hear you. So
that's okay. I was just going to bust your chops a little bit. I was just hollering really loud at you, but it's okay. No big deal.
Yeah. I forgive you. You can take it. You can hold it against me when we do the bowling thing. So
the bowling.
I don't know if I'm going, Guy. I really don't, because if they have not changed the opening, I'm going to have to stand my ground. I think. I'm not sure.
That's ridiculous.
Larry Smith remembers how bad I played down to the scoring of each of my games. So I hate to disappoint him and not let him have something to give me a hard time about. So
yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. 4 weeks from Monday is the actual date of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. Guy, thank you as always.
Always. Thank you, guys. Have a good week. All right.
Mark McGee joining us to talk Nashville Predators hockey. So, Kelly, this actually happened to me years ago. This would have been like 94. And it was the night of the NCAA final between Kentucky and Syracuse. Okay. And I would do a 4 to 7 p.m. sports talk show, but Greg Pogue and I would then do a television show from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
And so on this particular night, we go to the break. They turn the lights off. This was in, the big cameras and all the lights. Yeah. They turned the lights off, and I just sort of went, and I resigned the next day. I was like, if I'm falling asleep, this is not a good sign.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It might happen today.
It could happen today. We'll go to the break. Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee will join us when we come back.
Forget the fact that Sir Speedy Music City is owned by my BGA classmate James Warren. Their work stands on its own merit. James and his staff do incredible work, as evidenced by the huge banners at the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night. If you're looking for quality to help your marketing and business communications, and you want it at a reasonable price, these are your folks. Call them at 615-832-9511 or go to print at sirspeedymusiccity.com. And be sure to tell them Plaz sent you.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com. Vandy and Ole Miss play Saturday, 6:30, down at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. Rebels are about a 25.5-point favorite. Earlier today, Billy Derrick caught up with Commodore head coach Clark Lee. Here's the preview.
Coach, you finally get a bye week, a little bit of rest and relaxation, but also preparing for the final 4 games of the season, maybe a little bit of recruiting. But for you personally and as a staff, what would you say you guys accomplished or were able to accomplish over the bye week?
Well, we were able to rest some guys that have needed rest. And that was kind of the number one priority, is how can we come out of this just a little bit healthier? It's hard to do a lot of work, with 4 games left. We did a lot with respect to just season corrections and things, concepts that had given us a hard time, or elements of our structure we wanted to work on. But the most important thing was to get healthy. Then we were going to try to maximize the time that we could on the field. Thought we did that. And then we were going to get home. And that was important, just to allow guys to recharge and disconnect a little bit, which has been good as we charge back in on the season here.
Coach, you said earlier this week that Ken Seals obviously has shown enough to remain the starting quarterback, and obviously we expect him to see him Saturday. What has he shown in terms of leadership and taking care of the football and things like that you have to have at the quarterback position, especially in the SEC?
Well, he's for sure galvanized the offense. I think they've responded and rallied around his presence on the field. We've seen higher levels of execution offensively, just because he's had the command and the ability to get people aligned out there, which is just a product of experience and age. He's a leader in this program. I think he's played well. I think there's better performance ahead for him, and on the whole, he's made good decisions with the ball. He's thrown it away. He hasn't compromised it often, and I think that's positioned us to take strides offensively. And yet, there's, again, like I said, there's more out there for him. So we just felt like he'd earned the opportunity to stay in on this journey. And we know obviously that AJ Swan's a talented player, and we have a lot of belief in him. But we didn't play well enough through that position, and we're a little banged up. But I think there was also some process related things that we needed to shore up, and Ken's given us an opportunity to do that. And so we'll be excited to compete alongside him on Saturday.
Coach, we've talked about health defensively. It sounds like Kane Patterson, Dericky Wright, guys like that are starting to get healthy. How are you guys looking in terms of health defensively? Maybe not this game, but especially down the stretch of the season, just getting more guys back healthy and finding some consistency at key positions.
Well, we're better than we were before the bye, which is a good thing. I think we got a bunch of guys that are anxious to get back out on the field. Some of whom which will be out there in full capacity on Saturday, some of whom won't. But as you say, I think we're taking incremental steps back to having the full depth chart allotted, and that to me is that's a big deal. And obviously we've struggled with the inability to be healthy since fall camp, and so all of this has kind of been compounding effects of a tough start. Hopefully, coming out of the bye, we start making progress towards that full allotment. And when we do that, I think, we have a good enough defense to limit the opponent and to be in some tight games.
Lastly here, Coach, throwing the Ole Miss tape, you talked about their skill guys and talented defense, and familiar with head coach Lane Kiffin, of course, having them in Nashville last year. What stands out to you most about the Rebels before you guys head down there?
They're explosive on offense. I think it's first and second down efficiency for them. If you can force them into conversion downs, which is hard to do because they find the space and they attack it. And then you're going to have to defend 4 downs against these guys too. But capping the explosives, not allowing explosive touchdowns will be huge in our formula to win. And then it becomes about third down performance, which we've struggled with this year on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they've played well. I mean, they've I think solidified that group. We have to find the space, and I think we've taken steps to do that. I thought we played against good defenses the last couple of weeks, so we'll continue that and look to give them the best performance we've had all year on Saturday.
Vanderbilt and Ole Miss coming up Saturday, 6:30 on the SEC Network. Coach, good luck and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Kelly, I have a question. Think about this. If Nick Saban announced his resignation today, and certainly we have no reason to think that, but if he did, effective at the end of the year, would Alabama's first choice be Lane Kiffin?
I don't know. I don't. That's a tough question. I don't know if would they go after Dabo Swinney. I mean, would they do that? I mean, would he leave Clemson?
I mean,
I don't know.
Dabo's
It could
stock
be.
in this was a lot better 3 years ago than
Yes,
it
there's
is
no doubt.
today.
Well, I've heard
No
Nick.
doubt.
I've heard Lane Kiffin would love that Bama job.
Well, I think, look,
Oh
you'd
yeah.
love the Alabama job.
Well,
Who wouldn't
I don't
love
think everybody would though. Like, I don't think that's a job everybody wants to replace Nick
Well,
Saban.
Well,
that's a
you're
pressure
right
cooker.
about that. Oh, man.
Like that,
Yeah,
Lane
it's-
Kiffin is that kind of coach to say, yeah, I'll let me replace Nick Saban.
They've had 2 of the most legendary coaches ever at the University of Alabama with Bear Bryant and with Nick Saban. I mean, they're going to give you everything. Though, if winning is important to you, they're going to give you everything you need to win at that school. I mean, they've shown that for the past 50 years with all the national championships they've won. So I don't know about the Lane Kiffin deal. I think it would probably be a pretty good. I think he's a pretty good coach, George. I really do. I mean, he's a little out there. I've heard stories about him. He's different, but
Oh, there's no question he's different.
yeah. But I mean, I like some of the things that he says. I like some of the things that he said at the media days down here because he just threw it out there when he's talking about the transfer portal. I like people like that just put it out there. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it doesn't matter to me. That's your problem, So. He could be, George. I don't know. I don't know about the Dabo Swinney thing either. I think you're right. I think a couple of years ago would probably been different. I always thought that, and I hate to bring this up with Tennessee folks, man, but my man Jeremy Pruitt, like if he would have had a better showing at UT, which that was an abomination. I always thought because he's always wanted to go back to Alabama and do that. He left middle. I can remember sitting out on the steps of the dorm, and he had already started for 2 years. Started as a true freshman, not very fast, but he was smart and he got everybody lined up, and he'd come up and hit you. And he was telling us that he just had to go see if he could make it at Alabama, and he ended up redshirting, and then he played for 2 years under Gene Stallings. So. I always thought that was a possibility, but that's not a possibility anymore. I don't know who, Lane Kiffin would probably be a good choice, George. I don't know who they would get.
Look, all it is just a bunch of talk show babble at this point, because we have no reason to think that Saban is close to doing anything, but someday he will.
Yeah.
And someday somebody who is the AD is going to have to pull that list out of their pocket. And I wonder who will be on that list.
Well, my question is, does Nick Saban, is it almost his decision? Like, do you think he says, hey, or he just takes himself out of it? He retires?
I don't know. It's a really interesting, Krzyzewski, it appears, sort of handpicked John Shire to be his replacement.
I don't know if Nick Saban's that kind of guy. Does he love Alabama that much, or is he, he's old enough to say, I'm done, y'all, y'all make the decision.
Who knows?
Well, he's won how many? He's won 6 national championships at Alabama.
Yes,
6 and 7 altogether. Yeah,
pretty good.
If he wants to name his replacement, I'm sure they'll allow him to do that.
Here's the thing: when it does end, I don't believe we're ever going to see another run like that.
No.
You
can't do that in the portal NIL era.
When you look at just those numbers, and I remember when he got hired, I guess it was 2006, and we were down at the Sugar Bowl. LSU and I think Ohio State were playing, and the LSU people were none too happy that was going on, and
I wonder if he would have done the same at LSU.
Who knows?
Like he saw something. He might. I wonder if he saw something in Alabama. I know this is a while ago, but why did he leave for Alabama?
Well, he was the coach of the Miami Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
And the belief was that he was not particularly enjoying that experience. If I remember correctly, right about the time that all that was going down, didn't the Dolphins flunk Drew Brees on a physical?
I think you may be right, George. Yeah, because he'd gone down there on a visit. You may be, because I think, isn't that who Saban wanted? That's who he wanted. He wanted Drew Brees. Yeah, and I think that it was a straw that broke the camel's back when that fell through.
Anyway, we'll go to the break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 with stat of the day, and then we'll go to the underdog picks, where I have finally gotten a winner. Thank God. Stay tuned.
Convenience and value, 2 words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday. So who said I can't be a golfer? Well, you know what? This is X Golf, located just down the road from the Fordyce Center in Bellevue. This is fun. It'll improve your golf game, and you need to stop in and check it out. 8138 Sawyer Brown Road, and who knows, I may get to 200 before it's all over.
All right, I'm here with my buddy Chip Ward from Lincoln Home Loans. And Chip, it's football season, and it feels like it's moving season every time of the year, especially here in Nashville. Tell us about your business, Chip, and kind of introduce people to who you are and what you do here in the Nashville area.
Well, you're exactly right, Billy. It is definitely moving season, as it is most times, especially right here after Labor Day. Kids are back in school, and people are starting to think they want to get settled in before the holidays. And so what we are doing is right now we are getting a lot of people pre-approved for home loans. Inventory has ticked up a little bit. You know, it has been down, but it's rebounding a little bit. And right now is a good time to buy.
Chip, real quick before I let you go, tell people how they can reach you, and if someone is interested in your business, how would they reach out to you?
Well, sure. At Lincoln Home Loans, you can reach me at 615-500-7579. My URL for my application page is chipward.net, and my email address is simply chip@chipward.net. And so I'd love to hear from anybody. I can answer any questions about the whole home buying and financing process.
Top of the hour on a Thursday. Kind of a sleeper weekend in college football. Not a loaded slate like we had last week, but we do have some good games, and we've got underdog picks coming up. But first, stat of the day brought to you by John English Antique Sports and Cards. You can find them out in Shelbyville, 204 East Depot Street. They're open during the week, Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5. Give them a call, 931-492-4304. All right, let's take a look at what Matthew's got cooked up for us today. Since entering the NFL in 2018, Josh Allen has thrown 67 interceptions, which is second most in the NFL in that span. Behind what quarterback?
Ooh. So we're talking 5 years ago. Kelly, anything right off the bat come to mind?
I'm thinking maybe Derek Carr.
Okay, let me ask this question. Even though I think he's a really good quarterback, when Matthew Stafford was in Detroit, he threw a bunch of picks, didn't he?
He did. But he's been in LA. Well, no, you're right. I mean, I could be a good guess too. I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, let's make these two get in the middle of it. Pogu.
Hello,
what's your
George.
guess? How are you?
I agree with you. I agree. My first thought was Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. Okay.
He's thrown a lot of passes.
He's thrown a ton of passes. Hello, Willie.
Hey, guys.
How's the lighting today?
I don't know. It's mediocre. Mediocre.
Okay, we'll check it out here in a minute.
Yeah.
What's your guess?
I'm going to go away from Stafford just because he missed so much time last year. And Garoppolo throws a lot of picks, but he's missed a lot of time too. So I like Kelly's first thought of Derek Carr. I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Let us reveal.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker.
Gosh. That's right. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Baker
No
Mayfield.
kidding.
Are y'all surprised?
You know, I didn't
No,
think,
not really.
I didn't think
about him either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most of those when he was in Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good question. Very good question. We're now into the 3 o'clock hour. It's time for the Underdog picks. You all have met the contestants. Pogu, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And here and accounted for on time this week.
Absolutely. Where's TSU Saturday?
At home, Nissan Stadium, 2 o'clock against Big South OVC Alliance. Lindenwood, pregame at 1:30.
Lindenwood out of St. Louis, isn't it?
Yep, yeah, officially St. Charles, Missouri, which is essentially St. Louis, yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, almost like an Ivy League campus. Lindenwood is to St. Louis like Lipscomb and Belmont are to Nashville.
Gotcha. Good comparison.
Here's a
Willie?
good trivia blast from the past for you guys. You guys will appreciate this, and because I believe Mr. Pogue was the beat writer for a team this young man was on, but one of my good buddies, Chris Woods, 6'10" center from Vanderbilt out of St. Charles, Missouri, once upon a time.
Yeah, I think I was, what was he, 94 right through there, 93, 94?
I think you would have been class of 95, Chris Woods.
Yeah, right. That was my last year of Andy beat writer. Yep.
Good guy. Willie, where is he now?
Great guy. He's I believe he's in D.C. He's been well-traveled since he graduated. In fact, his claim to fame is he knows somebody from all 50 states. So,
well, that's
he's
wonderful.
That kind of guy, very, very social guy.
Yeah.
But I believe he and his family live in D.C. now.
Not a lot of people keep up with that.
Yeah, it's not exactly easy to check on that, right? Just say, okay, give me the list. Prove it.
Yeah, I might have to sort of run through and see if I get to double figures. Billy, do we have review from last week?
We do.
Well, then let's do it.
Here we go. It's time to review a good week.
Gracious, dude.
I mean, compared to weeks, this was a great week for two guys at least. But overall, Eastern Michigan lost 13. So brutal loss for them.
Kelly, help us. What went on in that game? Because you do seem very bitter.
Talking about the Eastern Michigan game?
Yeah.
I just know that it was 13-13, and then 1 minute left to go in the game, and I saw the points change, and it was 2013. I was like, yeah, that's silly underdog picks this year. That's the way it goes.
The game was not on television.
It probably wasn't. I don't think you could even get it on the Cartoon Network. So, it was. I don't know. It just whatever. Who cares? Let's move on.
Wow.
Greg Pogue, tough one with Auburn. They held in there for a little bit, but Auburn was not quite good enough offensively, and they lose to Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. Pogue, did you think they had any shot there?
I did.
Yeah.
Before halftime, I was like, Pogie's got him a winner.
But I like the home underdog, the Hugh Freeze, just all those components. I wouldn't have bet it, but I needed to get an underdog win.
George, Miami won 28-20. Finally got on the board.
In OT.
Who did they even play?
Clemson.
That's right.
Clemson. And what is this? Is this Clemson's third loss?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Miami's got some athletes. There's no doubt about that part. But you don't see it every week. You don't see the consistency every week out of them.
I think Dabo's comments might have sabotaged his team.
What did he say?
He said, well, he was talking about his fans. A lot of the fans not appreciating what they have there at Clemson. And he said, well, maybe we need to lose a couple to make our fans appreciate what we've got.
Okay.
And that's what's happened.
Well, he has. So
he's done
appreciate it now.
Yeah. And Willie picked what I think was the game of the week in college football.
Game of the
one
week.
of the 2 or 3 best games of the year.
Great pick. Utah won 34-32. Willie, congratulations.
Well, I can't really take full credit because that was my pinch hitter, Chase McCabe, who came in there. And by the way, as I was leaving the studio today for the radio show, he goes, "You're welcome, by the way." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, yeah, Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you happen to text – did you text him that pick, or was that Chase's decision?
No, that was I put full faith in Chase McCabe. For that
Whoa!
I don't even think we need to consider that. Like it should be stricken from the record.
Hey, Kelly, I got one of these, Billy picked for me, but you, this is right what you were talking about, Kelly. So I'm backing you because you said this a month ago. Whose pick is it? Whose pick is it? If I'm going to have somebody
Willie's.
pick, it's not Willie's, it's Chase's. Do I see Chase's up here in the standings?
No, he'd be ahead of me. Willie, I do have this question, though. We do this competition at 3 o'clock Central, and your game in New York was not until 6 o'clock. So what was were we big timed?
The bus subway transit system in New York, it takes time. We had to get to the team transit to the rink was at the same time that this contest takes place. So that was the issue. It was not meant to be a big time. And I believe I misspoke. I absolutely did give Chase the Utes as my top pick. I said, Chase, if the Utes are there. Okay.
He's flipping the script now.
Wow.
You absolutely did not. I can't believe you're like this. I thought you had better character than that, Willie.
I misremembered. I misremembered.
This is amateurism. There's no money on the line, Willie. My God.
Willie, did you just tell a lie?
Yes.
Oh no. No. My fingers aren't crossed below this screen here. No.
I think we call this waffling.
Yeah, there is some.
I call it Mike Vrabel.
Oh wow.
Willie
has taken on some water here. So,
Chase has tweeted in. He said, "I look forward to relieving my plaque for my contributions to the program."
Wow.
So Chase wants to be rewarded.
Yeah. Do you want to put a Donick / McCabe on the line instead of just my name only? I'm willing to do that to keep the points.
Well, yeah, because your attendance is not going to be great from here on in.
No, we're not going to have 6 pickers. I quit.
Willie and friends. No, it's a team effort. It's a franchise.
4 or none, I'm done.
So, Willie, you're telling me this. You're telling me that you text him the Utah pick. Is that what you did?
No.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on a second. There seems to be some contradiction.
I cannot tell a lie.
No, I think you already have.
I think, yeah.
What a disaster for Willie. All right.
Oh. If I had known this, I would never have hired him. I mean, he seemed honest, but now, all these years later, he just bold-faced lied.
His integrity is in question.
I want to see the league rules. Does it say that you cannot have somebody pick for you and have a correct answer?
No, there are no rules. Just right.
It's the spirit of the contest.
Exactly, Pogue. It's the spirit. Every time I'm not on your show, Willie, I text you what I want.
This is true. I have to say.
Correct.
And he's leading by like that many points.
Yes.
These are not minor violations. These are level 2.
There will be.
Hold on a second. We have late breaking news.
Yeah, Chase. That was all me. He said.
Chase has been quoted as saying here that you did not text him that pick.
No,
I have confirmation.
I'm admitting. You could see my tongue in cheek when I was misremembering.
No, I could see your tongue coming out of your head when you were caught in a lie.
This is Chase. Can confirm he did not text me a pick. Wow.
So congratulations. A nice pick,
way to go,
Chase.
Willie. Way to go.
Good job, Chase. Good job, buddy.
It was
congratulations, Chase. You're ahead of me.
It's kind of like Thornton Mellon in Back to School, Rodney Dangerfield, when he lies to Dean Martin about is the work that you've turned in your own.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
That was an out-and-out lie.
That was a lie.
I cannot
Okay,
lie.
so
Yes,
are
it
we
is.
reviewing the standings here?
Yes. Well, obviously, Willie.
I like when you can keep that up, George, if you'd like for a while. I like looking at that. That's good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's not yours now. I mean, that's just totally null and void now because I don't know what we're doing. Like what commish? I mean, rule on it.
Well, should we
Can we
take
have a
away? I think there's an option to add Chase to this as a fifth contestant.
I don't want to fall into fourth place.
How many points was that worth? That win, that Utah win?
Several.
Was it 6.5?
7.
You're
was
asking
7.
the question. You're the commissioner.
It was 7.
Records.
Okay, so it was 7.
Do you keep records?
I'm gonna meet with the committee here and maybe make some corrections on the standings.
There is no committee. Okay, this is a low budge deal. What we will do, however, is go to the break, and then we will have this week's picks shrouded in controversy, deceit, out and out lying.
And here's the order. Number
It's
1.
turned into a crap show, Billy. That's what it's turned into, and you've allowed it.
Leading off for us after the break, Willie. So, I mean, just King Willie. He's
right.
He's leading the
Well,
charge.
of course he's first.
He's going to call Chase. Trying
Yeah.
to get a pick.
That's a good idea.
Not a bad idea.
If you'll excuse me, guys, I have a phone call to make.
Yes.
Number 2 will be Kelly. Number 3 will be Greg Pogue. And last will be George Plaster.
And stay tuned. We will have those picks right after this.
It was the most horrible experience that any mother could ever go through. I knew that I needed to get help. My friend, she immediately said, you need to call Bart Durham. And you guys were there within an hour. You guys are like family for us.
Yeah, sure is nice to connect with the people that you're doing your best to help.
As the trusted premier custom home builder in Middle Tennessee, Donnelly Timmons has over 20 years of experience in the industry. Whether you're looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and every remodel is unique, luxurious, and completed on time within budget. Founders Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly have over 25 years of construction experience in the Nashville area. Together, they have completed projects in Forest Hills, Oak Hill, Green Hills, Franklin, and Brentwood. Dustin and Joey believe that communication is the most important aspect of all construction projects. Therefore, they personally manage each project themselves and are involved in job site activities on a daily basis. Their commitment to quality and integrity has earned them an outstanding reputation among their clients. Contact them to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects. Give them a call at 615-456-7983 or log on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
Year number 2 of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night was awesome. And the reason is really simple. I chose Strike and Spare, and they were amazing. They have great food, great bowling, and a staff that is truly ready to go the extra mile to help you. They have 5 family fun centers in the area to choose from, and for more info, go to strikeandspare.com or call them at 615-824-5685. The George Plaster Show is Nashville's best sports talk, 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. There's a podcast version available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Looking for more than just awards and trophies? Southern Trophy House is your one-stop solution. For over 60 years, their team has created lasting impressions with a personalized touch. From embroidery to screen-printed apparel to corporate awards, signs, and name badges. They have everything you need to keep your brand shining bright. With their knowledgeable customer service team, you can relax as they create, produce, pack, and ship merchandise and awards on time and on budget. That includes etched crystal awards, custom-cut acrylic, name badges, embroidered Richardson ball caps, banners, screen-printed T-shirts, laser-engraved Yeti cups, and knives. Recognize your hard-working team from Southern Trophy House, where they do their best to help you recognize your best. Located at 2705 Nolensville Pike in Nashville, give them a holler, 615-256-7295. Visit southerntrophy.com. Southern Trophy House, for all your personalization and recognition needs.
Hello, Chase.
Director, how we doing?
Good. If you would, clear up a couple of things.
Absolutely.
Did Willie send you Utah last week?
He did not.
Okay.
Done.
He did not. That was all me. And I got to tell you, like, I'm popping on here because, you know, Willie's one of my mentors, and I'm very disappointed in this deceit. You know, I mean, I'd expect this from maybe Kelly or Pogue, but not Willie.
For me? Chase, why would I do that? I'm not that guy now. I'm gonna tell the truth.
I know.
If I'm gonna if I'm gonna throw you under the bus, it'll be for a lot more than this.
I know.
I do think we're all very disappointed. Chase, if you would, your lighting appears to be better than Willie's. Where are you?
I am in my office.
Oh, so this is where the suit is.
Yes, this is the palatial offices of one Chase McCabe.
Okay, so are you kind of butting into the competition?
I don't know about that. I heard all of this controversy, and I felt that I needed to come in and clear some of it up.
Well, he might as well, because Willie's not going to be here anymore. So, good gracious.
Should he be suspended from the Preds telecast?
Maybe.
I thought you were going to say, should I be banned from this competition? Should I be
happily
like Larry David? When Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm gets banned from the coffee shop, you're banned. You're banned.
What did Utah? How many points did they get?
7.
Make those null and void. Just wipe them off right now.
Well,
just get them off the board. But Kelly's trying to run you off and replace you with Chase. Okay.
Here's my thing. I was under the impression that this was similar to last year, that if there were, days that Willie couldn't make it, that I would fill in for him. And it's clear that was not the case. That was not put forth as it should have been.
What do you mean exactly by that?
Well, I mean, there were times last year where he had Predators commitments. I think you may have done the competition a little later, so that may have had something to do with it too. But that he couldn't make it, and so I would fill in when he was, undisposed or however, whatever.
But during those, he would not give you the pick either. Although this, we do this every Thursday at 3. I do believe
he would give me a few, but then he would trust my judgment.
Diligence. That's a slap in the face to the diligence I put in for this.
What parking lot are you in today, Pokey?
Same one as always.
Okay.
Right outside the Dewdrop Inn.
I'll take this up with committee and come up with a
There is
decision.
no committee. Let's cut the crap. There is no committee.
Well, Kelly wants Willie booted.
Well, I know he does. He's wanted
I
Willie out.
want Willie off the commissioner's list too of the other program, but it's his deal. You know what I'm saying? So
Kelly has wanted Willie out since McGovern.
Well, I propose that we add Chase to the competition.
What? You can't do that in the middle of the season. It's week 9.
And I'm in third place.
He's going to be in third place if we let him in with those 7 points. So I mean, he's not missing anything. I promise.
But if whoa! If he gets those 7 points, Willie doesn't, right? We can't be handing out
That's
two
correct.
different
No, that's correct.
pointers.
Willie goes back.
Personally, I don't think there's a precedent for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
There is not.
Let's make one.
I just think I vote I vote that we let Willie keep the 7 because it's much more important to him than the integrity of this contest.
I think you're right. Chase, let me say up front how much we appreciate you and your willingness to contribute when Willie is worried that Andrew Brunette might hear him pick Utah.
Hey, anything for the integrity of the program and your viewership and obviously your friendship too, George.
No question. Let us move on.
Yes. I will say goodbye.
Chase, goodbye.
Hey Chase, text me a pic.
Okay.
All right. Chase checking in. Let's get going with another week of Underdog picks, and leading us off is Willie Donick.
Meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets.
Oh, yes. Max Scherzer pitching in the World Series. That would have sounded really good to me in April and May, but he's pitching for the Rangers.
Did we cut the music early?
Well, Willie was talking. I had to turn it down.
Screw Willie. He lied to us. He lied to us.
Well, Willie was
You realize how hard that is to repair? What it's going to take to repair that? I mean, it's an integrity issue.
Inexcusable.
I'd say 6 Hail Marys and a free lunch, and we're clear.
I'll go just simply with the free lunch.
I'll go with the free lunch, free lunch too.
Willie, what do you got?
All right, I am gonna. I don't know why. I'm feeling like a big upset is gonna happen down in Jacksonville. I'm gonna go for the home run.
Oh wow!
And take the Gators, who I think are kind of up and down, but it's a rivalry game. I feel like they're capable of playing well, and I'm really curious to see what Georgia looks like with Bowers out, because I really think he's the guy that makes their offense go. I think their offense can be very average without him. I'm going to take Florida, 14.5 or somewhere near there.
It is 14.5. So Willie riding with the Gators down in Jacksonville. All right, up next, Kelly Holcomb.
That hot old summer sun make you beg for your next breath. So you best be on the creek bank, lady.
What we got, Kelly?
So Willie, I just got to ask you this question: if you do end up winning the competition and there's an asterisk beside it, I mean, are you okay with that?
Well, that's why I'm trying to get big points with Florida for 14. So the margin is so big that 7 would not cost me. That would be.
So that's going to make you feel okay inside.
Yes, it will make.
Oh well, okay.
Yeah, I can live with.
Okay, wow. I'm learning a lot about you today, Willie. I mean, I'm really. It's a little disappointing, man. I thought you were an upfront guy, man.
I think your kids are disappointed.
Yeah, it really has, man. It's kind of taken on a little tarnish of your image, you know. I'm sorry. So
I also don't think they care.
So I guess I'm gonna double up. I think that UCF found some things against Oklahoma. I just don't think Oklahoma can go through the season undefeated. Kansas is a home dog. I'm gonna pick the Jayhawks. I'm not sure if the Jayhawks quarterback is playing again. I think their backup's pretty good, but I'm gonna say that the Jayhawks beat the Oklahoma Sooners.
Okay, so Kansas getting 9 there at home against Oklahoma, and their starter is not playing, but they will go and back up Jason Bean, who has played pretty well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not bad.
For Kansas.
I'm good with that.
Early kick Saturday, 11 a.m. on Big Noon kickoff there. All right. Up next, Greg Pogue.
Oh.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
What we got?
Happy Halloween, boys.
Very timely. Very timely. Well done.
I like.
When you go trick or treating, do you go as Santa?
Only at the retirement homes.
Wow, George.
Kelly, there's some past history behind that question.
There's a backstory there.
Oh,
yeah, there's gropage. There's a lot of things. So
wow.
On Christmas, no less.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes.
Twitter.
I like Central Florida. Hey, welcome to the Big 12. You're 0-4. And Wake Virginia's coming off a Hail Mary loss to Houston, had a late lead over Oklahoma State. I like West Virginia getting 7 at Central Florida. I just think they're going to run up and down the field on Central Florida. They're physically better. They run the ball, and Central Florida can't defend the run. So I like the Mountaineers plus the 7.
All right, Pokey riding with West Virginia plus 7. That's another 11 a.m. kick on FS1. That is down in Orlando. So riding with the Mountaineers. All right, lastly here, we're going to go with George Plaster.
You know, when you pick fourth, when you pick last, normally there's not a lot that's worth anything. This one had some meat on the bone. Utah at home. Man, I'm taking them again. Utah, Willie, mentally tough.
They're good. I think they're good. And playing there, that's going to be a great atmosphere.
Yeah. You know,
Utah has won 18 straight home games. I don't know if you all knew that.
Eccles Stadium.
Anybody know
Did
why
you get,
they would be a favorite, or where they would be a 6.5-point underdog? That surprised me that line is that big.
So apparently Chase gave Plaz the Utah pick again this week, right?
No, I like to do my own picking, and it shows based on the lack of success I've had.
But this week feels different, you say?
Oh, it feels, well, last week felt different. It was a win. Now we're going for 2 in a row. And look, it may not work, but Utah at home getting points, hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So George riding with the Utes.
Yeah.
We ready to review?
I think we are.
All right. We start with Willie. He takes Florida plus 14.5 down in Jacksonville against Georgia. Kelly riding with Kansas. They're getting 9 points against Oklahoma at home. Greg Pogue takes West Virginia plus the 7 at UCF down in Orlando. And George riding with Utah plus 6.5 against Oregon at home. Gentlemen, good luck this weekend.
Yeah, same to you. Willie, this what went on today is almost as bad as that deal you screwed up about race car drivers not being athletes. If I remember correctly, you came back and sort of modified things on that one.
I did.
I think
my process. I looked within. I and decided that I was not informed very well. So
okay.
I had to rethink things as a young young rookie. That could be chalked
Right.
up as a rookie mistake. But
Yeah.
here now, 30 some odd years later, I'm not sure that that can fly now. I can't call it a rookie mistake.
It's the cover up is always worse than the crime.
Yep, that's Bruce Pearl found that out, I think.
Yes, thank you. Willie, do you have anything you'd like to say to the listeners?
I will have to say, I apologize for misremembering and my at trickeration to deceive the panel.
Right.
And I can honestly say that will not happen again. And I will get with the commissioner on a proper sanction. And if I can't make it in a coming week, is Chase still allowed to make the pick for me?
If you text him your pick,
yes,
I will text whoever is hitting for me my appropriate pick.
Hey, we've already assigned the punitive damages. You're picking up lunch for all of us, and we're just moving on.
Okay.
And where are we going? Where are we going, Bobby?
And that's a big issue right there, Kelly.
It's got to be a late lunch.
We're not talking about McAllister's Deli or nothing like that now.
It'll be one of his East Nashville hipster places where the food's
is that
like
right?
the size of
Okay.
Okay. Well, this was.
I'm thinking Jay Alexander's myself, something like that.
I'm satisfied.
Jimmy Kelly's.
Well, either one, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Willie?
Just not White Castle. We ain't going to White Castle.
No. Willie, you've taken on water today.
Yes, I have. It's
like gallons.
Sad situation.
It's very sad. Listeners are texting. They're bitterly disappointed. They've said to themselves, if you can't trust Willie, because you sure as hell can't trust the director, who can you trust? Pogie, thank you so much for being on time.
Appreciate it. Always fun.
Willie, good luck to you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
See ya.
Okay. After the break, we will have a commitment to excellence. Plaster's bets of the day. Excuse me?
I said, oh, gosh, here we go with this.
Stay tuned. We're coming back. Star Physical Therapy was established in 1997 with one great mission: to serve. If you're hurting, don't wait to receive physical therapy. You don't need a referral to see their physical therapist, and early morning and evening appointments are available. Make the call to 615-673-1420 and get rid of that pain. Star Physical Therapy, the official health provider of Football Friday.
Family owned and operated for more than 2 decades, Alaco Fine Wood Floors is Nashville and Middle Tennessee's choice for premium quality hardwood floors. Since 1995, Jimmy Alaco and his army of employees have embodied the approach of taking pride in one's craft and providing superior customer service, growing from a one-man shop to a team of 23 professionals who share the founder's passion for quality craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. If you are interested in contacting them, you can find their headquarters at 2505 Winford Avenue in Berry Hill, or give them a call at 615-356-0303. Again, that's 615-356-0303, or log on to alacofinewoodfloors.com. Alaco Fine Wood Floors, serving Middle Tennessee's hardwood flooring needs since 1995.
You were in a crash.
Yeah.
Your kids were in the car with you.
We're very lucky to even be telling this story to you. Nikki treated us like family, and she was very caring and loving, and I'm just so grateful for that. She was somebody I could trust, and being a veteran, that's so important to me. My kids are going to have a better life now because I don't have to worry about those expenses that we were out. Your family has really created a legacy of trust, and I would recommend you to anyone.
Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances, and Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and wife Daphne, along with their experienced staff, give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life, improve your immune system, energy level, cognitive function, and more. There's no better time to achieve a healthy lifestyle. What are you waiting for? Give Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment at 615-486-3458 or visit the website coolspringsmd.com.
Convenience and value, two words that we expect when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to deliver just that, both to our school partners and to our customers. Whether you're purchasing photos, yearbooks, class jewelry, letter jackets, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience easy, convenient, and cost-effective. Find out more at jhacompany.com or call 615-867-6345 for more information. JHA, one source, one company.
Final segment on a Thursday. Tampa Bay and Buffalo tonight, 7:15. You also got some college action, Syracuse and Virginia Tech at 6:30. A little bit of NBA, a little bit of NHL. We'll see where George is going tonight. It's Bet of the Day, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. Give them a call, 615-242-9000, or log on to bartdurham.com. All right, let's check out what happened last night. Jacksonville State got a win, but Sam Houston.
Oh, Sam Houston.
Whew.
Gagged late. They had a big lead and didn't.
I checked in.
Didn't close the deal.
They were up big.
So tonight, and let me say up front that we've got a line on this game that now is a little bit erroneous because there is word out of Buffalo that Baker Mayfield is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
So take the Bills up to -3.5, and then Georgia State +7.5. This is called a two-team teaser. You got to win both to win the bet.
Ooh, a little bit tougher.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, but you get to take 6 points in each game and move it however you want. That's the beauty of the teaser.
Get to play around with it a little bit.
You got that, Kelly?
Yeah, I'm out on all that stuff. That's too much jargon for me.
I'm guessing if Baker Mayfield is not able to play, the backup in Tampa is former University of Florida quarterback Kyle Trask.
Yep.
I think that's who it is. Yeah.
So
Bruce, I talked to Bruce about him. He really liked Kyle Trask, but obviously they didn't like him enough. I mean, I think he competed with Baker Mayfield in training camp, but obviously Baker Mayfield beat him out.
Yeah. So tomorrow, we will center in on the Battle of Murfreesboro, Riverdale, and Oakland. And we wanted to go to one of the two schools. However, Kelly, you know this better than I do. Both schools are under a massive amount of construction.
Yeah,
and
they are.
And so neither school felt comfortable with us being able to do that. So we're going to do the show here, but a lot of the same stuff during the 2 o'clock hour that we would normally do.
That is the game in Murfreesboro.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It still is. I mean, Blackman's had a lot of success up here, but it's still the battle of the borough. There's no question about that. And you're right. The city, since Riverdale and Oakland were built at the same time, got the same deal. They've got a deal where students have to go outside, and it becomes a safety reason. So they gave both of those schools a bunch of money. And if you ride over to Riverdale, which is right down the street from my house, they've got so much stuff and so much dirt being moved right now that they were afraid that it was messing up some of the electrical stuff, and they didn't want to get there. And I'm sure Oakland had the same problem. They didn't want to get you there and then have a problem with electricity and you not be able to do the show at all. So that's kind of where that's coming from.
So, Kelly, let me ask you this. What will that game draw tomorrow night? I know it'll be, it'll be a packed house and then some. What are we talking about?
Man, I couldn't even tell you, George. I know that it will be standing room only. There's no question about that, and it's for the district championship, because if Riverdale wins that game, then they will succeed Oakland as being, because I don't think Oakland Creasy has not lost a district game in probably 10 years, 8 or 10 years, something like that. Yeah. So Riverdale's got the team that can do it this year too. They've got a lot of ability. They've got a lot of guys on offense that they can throw it to. They got a kid that can throw it. So can Creasy do what he always does and control the ball and do that, which that's what he's been able to do his whole career at Oakland. So it should be a good game, and there'll be a lot of people there. I don't want to give an amount of people there, but it's going to be packed. That's for sure.
Going to be a bunch.
Yeah, whoever wins, Kelly, you're right, locks up the region, and we'll have the one seed.
That's correct.
In that tournament. And George, this is the week where there's so many possibilities.
Oh yeah,
especially in this mid-state and in D2 AAA.
Crazy stuff.
There's a big one. Innsworth and Christian Brothers battling for the fourth seed, the final seed there. So games all over the place with a ton of meaning.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with it tomorrow. Kelly, we'll see you on Monday. Behave until then.
George, Billy, see y'all.
We're done for today. See you tomorrow. Thanks for being with us.